a petitioner?
Yes, sir.
What are you petitioning on?
We're petitioning to get the Amendment 119 that the City Council of Fayetteville passed on August the 20th for forcing civil rights upon the population without going to a popular vote. We're just trying to get it on a ballot for a popular vote.
What are they forcing? What are they forcing?
It's the civil rights. The lesbians, gays, transsexuals, and bisexuals, it gives them the right to for us not to discriminate them, which they didn't present any cases at all at the town meeting on August the 20th that there had been any discrimination against people, but they passed it without even considering the amount of people that were speaking against it, and we're just trying to get it on a popular vote.
So there weren't any people speaking for it?
Oh, there was some speaking for it, yes, but the room was basically filled with people that was for the amendment and not against the amendment. We were against the amendment.
I see. So what ground? I mean, what will it? How will it hurt anybody?
Basically, what it's going to allow is it's taking the rights of the religious community to be forced to let people that want to come to your church to be married if it's against our belief. We don't feel like that our pastors...
Is that really in the ordinance?
Yes, sir.
It says they'll be forced to?
I'll be glad to let you read the ordinance.
You show me where it says that.
It's dangerous to the First Amendment freedoms and is discriminatory against people of faith, poses a threat to public safety and private rights.
No, I mean, where is it in the ordinance?
This ordinance allows anyone of the opposite sex to access bathrooms, locker rooms, showers, etc., as long as they claim to regard themselves as the opposite sex. A person can be a biological male, look exactly like a man, and be dressed as a man, and will be able to assert his right to be in the women's and girls' restrooms.
Are you sure that's in the ordinance? The real ordinance? That looks like somebody wrote about it.
That was taken off of the internet by an attorney.
Somebody got it on the internet.
Representing us.
Okay, this is a signed ordinance, huh?
Yes.
That's signed by
It's signed by Lionel Jordan, the mayor of Fayetteville, and the city clerk.
Okay.
Let's see, I've got that side upside down here. The ordinance itself says it shall be unlawful for a business establishment or place of public accommodation for a discriminatory reason to deny, directly or indirectly, any person the full enjoyment of the goods, services, facilities, privileges, advantages, and accommodations of any business establishment or place of public accommodation unless required by state or federal law. The City of Fayetteville and all its employees are bound by the provisions of this chapter to the same extent as private individuals and businesses. All contractors doing business with the City of Fayetteville shall comply with this ordinance. It is unlawful discriminatory practice to coerce, threaten, retaliate against, interfere with, or discriminate against a person because that person has opposed any practice made unlawful by this chapter, but has made a non-frivolous charge or complaint. he has testified truthfully, asserted, or participated in an investigation, proceeding, or hearing pursuant to this chapter. It is unlawful, discriminatory practice to require, request, or suggest that a person or entity retaliate against, interfere with, intimidate, or discriminate against a person because that person has opposed any practice made unlawful by this chapter. He has made an unprivileged charge or investigation, proceeding, or hearing authorized under the chapter. It is unlawful, discriminatory practice to cause or coerce or attempt to cause or coerce directly or indirectly any person in order to prevent that person from complying with the provisions of this chapter. Prohibition acts of discrimination with regard to housing and real estate transactions, which include both sales and leases. It shall be unlawful to engage in any of the following acts, wholly or partially, for a discriminatory reason. In other words, what this is talking about and saying is that if you're a homeowner and you don't want to rent your house to somebody that you don't feel like is lawfully married, like two men or two women can rent your house, and you don't like it, but if you don't rent your house to them, they can file a complaint against you, and you can be taken to court and charged with a violation of this ordinance. Not only your house, if a business owner has a belief that he doesn't believe in lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgender
that lady's stuff all fell down.
Huh?
That lady needs help with her signs and stuff.
I better go help her.
Yeah.
Some help?
Well, he's doing a good job. You got it quick. I said she needs help, but you were putting it together pretty fast.
Sometimes I can move fast, sometimes I can't.
Yeah, I know. I got that.
All right, hold that down for me.
Problem.
You want to take it down?
Well,
on to the side or what?
Yes, but very carefully. I want to do it in the film. Right here.
I'll let you do it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to hold it.
Yeah, you're my holder. That's right. I won't be able to peel the tape off. It'll come out a little bitty string.
You need a distribution
I
gun.
know. I do.
I should have lost your mind.
Oh, I want to go down on the black stuff. I don't really want to put it on the
down
yellow.
This way?
Keep going, keep
going
down.
Keep going down. Like there?
Yeah.
Whoop.
That's good. I'll take some more because it's blowing pretty good.
Yeah, they will. Blowing pretty good. You want to take one bottom of the leg?
Yeah, I'm going to take two. How long have you been here?
I got here about a quarter till.
That's all right. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So you're wanting to put that Chapter 119 on the ballot?
Yeah, everybody gets to vote.
So you
like
think
the
that civil rights needs to be voted on by everyone?
No, I think the extra stuff added to it does. No.
Well, it seems like you're wanting to preserve your right to be mean to people, to be unfair to people.
You know, I'm 5 feet tall. If I go in the store and say, somebody says, we won't serve you because you're 5 feet tall, well, so what? He's a jerk. I'll open next door. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at him. just think, okay, there's somebody down the street.
It just seems inappropriate to treat people badly.
It does. I agree.
And that's what this Chapter 119 is supposed to prevent. It's supposed to prevent people from treating people
But it's the
badly.
extra stuff, you know.
Well, what kind of extras are you talking about?
What extra stuff are you talking about? Are you talking about veteran status? Because that's veteran status, because that's in there.
No.
Are you talking about familial status? Because that's in there. So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about mainly the cross-dressing, the transgender, and the safety of being in places that I don't know who's there. You know, feeling wary. And also, I don't like the idea that 6 people decide for me. So,
you know, it's interesting because we have representatives all over. We have state representatives, we have federal representatives, we have city representatives, and that's what we elect them for. We elect them to be our voice. And
not to be my thoughts, though. See,
we're not trying to control your thoughts. You know, that's wrong. That's
just a matter of education.
Huh?
You think because of how you're educated or brought up, you know, I think.
No,
don't you?
I don't know. I still don't like the idea of one group. I don't care if the post office is moved. I just don't really like.
You don't like the idea of city government?
There has to be. You know, there has to be government, but I don't like it.
You don't like it when it's not what you like.
Well,
you want it to be what you want.
Sure, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. But that's what you're wanting with this Chapter 119.
That's what I'm saying, but I want, you know.
Have you read every word of that real ordinance?
Oh, I went over and over and had a
Did you get it
very
from the...
bad discussion with one of the councilmen yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know enough about it to find something that I would dislike.
Okay.
Can you tell me something you think would affect me, or?
Well, I don't know nothing about you, but.
Well, no, I'm here, and so I live here. What will it do to?
You are a professional photographer.
Yeah.
But you personally feel like the lifestyle of LBGT is not something you can, you know, love the sinner but don't love the sin. Is something that you would not want to advertise that you were helping with or whatever, and then you get sued because you won't do it.
Because you won't what?
Because you wouldn't take pictures, say, at a same-sex wedding or a, I don't know, baptism, whatever.
Are you sure it says that in that ordinance?
Pretty much.
Have you read the latest version?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yesterday, you read it. Where'd you get it?
Yeah,
did you
Where
get
did I get it? I've got many copies of it.
No. That fellow down there was showing me stuff he got off the internet. It's not an actual thing.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
So he's talking about, he's got stuff in this thing that somebody else wrote. It's not in the ordinance, it looks like. Well, he showed me the ordinance then, the copy, the official ordinance.
Yeah.
But people interpreting it to say things that they think. There were people.
And part of the problem is that they want to tweak it after they've got the permission and you know, that's kind of like building a house. The guy says, well, it's going to cost you $10,000 to get this porch added on, but I'm going to write that down because it may be a little more or less. Just go ahead and sign the contract. Well, you know, you don't know what's going to happen in the end.
Yeah. You don't think that some of this fear is ridiculous?
I don't know anybody that's afraid. We just don't know.
You have said that you're afraid because you're afraid to go out in public. You're afraid of people who are cross-dressing. Do you know that people who cross-dress are not sexual predators? Do you know who sexual predators are?
Sexual
predators
you know that.
are Christian heterosexual males. Those are the sexual predators.
Could be. And there's
You talking about those priests and
I'm talking about priests
and those Baptist
members.
preachers.
I'm talking about that young man in Oklahoma who went to Africa and molested like 10 children. You have no idea about that?
No.
Have you heard that?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you have no idea?
I don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't know what you're talking about, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I mean, I think we can learn.
No, she's
What are you talking
someone
about?
that went to, a young man from Oklahoma that went to Africa and molested,
Yeah, he was on a mission trip. You're right, but statistically, it's heterosexual Christian males.
Could be. I won't disagree.
It is. And you will be
you're pretty
hard to find any proof other than that. It's hateful. Don't do it. Don't sign it.
We're not going to do this.
I'm sorry.
You heard me.
Who are you?
My name is Garland Collins. You won't call the police? I got the number.
No, I've got it too.
All right.
This is called harassment, and I believe that's discrimination. My golly.
Discrimination.
So you just know
You
why?
got me?
That's why you want to rule
Backing me
against
up?
it, right?
Here.
Oh, that's all right.
That's,
Oh, did you get a picture of it? The two of them?
I'm not making pictures right now.
Oh.
Because nobody would pay me to.
That's true. I don't know. They might. They're having to talk to everybody. Hi, are you registered to vote in Fayetteville?
Actually, just moved to Eureka Springs. I own property in Fayetteville, but yeah, I don't live here.
What happened to the bank?
Well, y'all have a fine day.
You too.
Pardon me? Now walked off. When I told you, she walked off. Made me mad real quick.
I know it. Well, it's the city of Fayetteville has, and only the city council voted on it, to put a civil rights administrator in who can come to you and say, if you won't do a gay wedding, you can be fined $500 or you can go to jail.
Why do they pay this person? Are they paid?
Oh, the administrator?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 80,000, I think, something. But right now, they have a...
I didn't know I could have gone to college for that.
Right now,
They have that up at the university?
Probably. They have appointed the city attorney for this 1 year till they get organized and get their board, and they put 15 people on their committee, and you know that's never going to work.
I knew they had passed
Way
that.
too many.
I knew they had passed that civil rights thing.
That's what it is.
I didn't know.
And we want it where everybody
you
can
could get
vote,
fined, yeah.
because there's some really bad stuff in it. The equal rights thing's fine. Everybody ought to have a house. Everybody ought to get to have a job. Everybody ought to get the pursuit of happiness and all that. But there's some about the cross-dressing and all that. If they say they're a male today, they're a male. That means they can go in dressing rooms and bathrooms and, you know, there's a bunch of extra.
Well, some of those people that have, they call transgender, actually have had their parts
Yeah.
changed.
But I'm still not going to feel comfortable. We just want, I don't
Well,
like
you
this.
should have the right to vote on that.
Yeah, but 6 people have, I'm kind of mad at city council because I don't think 6 people ought to do that.
They may be sure.
But it's coming your way. They're writing one up.
Oh, I know in Eureka.
Yeah, I saw that in the paper. They voted it down.
You're registered voter?
You mean they're writing one up there similar? Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they write one up everywhere. I think it's really important to try to protect people that maybe have lesser rights than, you know.
Oh.
Not the less than everybody ought to have.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, as being really white and privileged, it's hard for us to sometimes realize that other people don't necessarily get that. Yeah.
I mean, we just call the police on another person, so don't do that.
Oh, I'd be just fine with that. Yeah, and don't try to use that as some kind of threat.
Well, no, this would be unpleasant for everybody.
Yeah.
No, it's just the
Yeah, the thing is, so like I said, it's
dressing and and not having the right to say no. I'm 5 feet. Hey, if I go in the store and they say, oh, you're 5 feet. Okay. I mean,
the thing is, though, you would very rarely need to deal with that because the way that we were born. So I think it's pretty sad that being that you're not used to needing to deal with that on a regular basis, that to you it seems like it's not an issue, or maybe they're wanting special rights.
Exactly. That's
the thing is, so it's all the things that the rights you were born with and take for granted.
And 6 people chose for me, and that's not right.
Well, it's sad that they needed to choose for you, if you ask me. That's very disappointing.
Am I going to take a beating today, or what?
No.
You better start getting your fist up.
There's something we need an ordinance against is spraying pesticide on plants.
I remember when I was a little kid, that horrible stuff when they went up and down the streets. You remember that?
Yeah.
In our yards?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't do that here, but those companies kill weeds that way, they call them. And you know what the weeds are?
Are you registered to vote in Fayetteville?
No, I don't know.
You don't know what they are or not, or you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I moved over here about 5 years ago, and my friend and I realized I'm not even
I'll tell you what, I've got a registration. You won't take it when you turn it in.
Well, is there a way that you can tell?
I know if I had a smartphone or could, but I don't have one. So.
Well, you can go right down to the courthouse over there, and they'll have your.
No, it isn't exactly what I want to do right now, but where could I turn that in?
Courthouse is straight down there.
Oh, that's where.
Yeah. You can mail it.
Okay.
Let me get.
Pretty bad.
You know what this is?
Getting old and dumb. What? I know what it is.
They're trying to get the council's ordinance on civil rights on the ballot for a big vote. Costs a lot of money for the city.
Okay.
There you go.
On into
You'll be
civil
fixed
rights.
up. I think you can still get it time to vote in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, those folks have been reading bad versions of stuff written that's not in the ordinance.
Yeah.
And they don't even know it. They're out here pushing a vote against it.
Well,
It's
I'm a Unitarian Universalist, and we're way into civil rights.
right, yeah. You wouldn't want to sign. Yeah.
So have you decided whether you want to sign it or not?
Well, all I saw there, you never showed me the part that said what you were talking about earlier about requiring something. I don't even remember what it was. You were telling me before you got to looking, trying to find it in the actual thing.
Well, if you have a minute, I'll just read you the whole ordinance.
Well, you read a good bit of it, but if you found the part you were trying to tell me was in there, I'll have to. I guess I can go to City Hall and get a copy of it if I want to read the whole thing. They're usually long, it looks like. But there has been a lot of stuff that claimed it would do that isn't even in there. I know that, but I don't know. Is that a... No, is it? Okay, well...
But all we're trying to do is just get it put on a public vote instead of 8 people on the city council, Fayetteville City Council, telling us what we have to believe.
Did you go to one of those meetings?
I watched all 10 hours of it.
All on TV?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Wow.
On the city government till 3:30 in the morning. I watched it until 3:30 in the morning when they took a vote on it. And
bet
I
you
found out that there was 2 gay people on our city council to start with, and they're the ones that presented the ordinance to start with.
Well, but none of the rest of them were, huh? But does that have anything to affect your life or mine?
They can do whatever they want to. Any of them can. I'm not trying to take their rights away from them. All I'm trying to do is to get it put to a public vote. My wife, if she and my granddaughter, I've got a granddaughter that's 20 years old. If she goes into the restroom and a gay and a transgender person or a transsexual person, bisexual person rather, perceives in his mind that he wants to be a woman that day, he can dress up. Well, he don't even have to dress up, but he just perceives in his mind that he's wanting to go into the ladies' restroom with my granddaughter and my wife in there using the bathroom. He can go into the ladies' restroom without ever being said anything to him about it. If anybody says anything to him...
At that meeting, did they ask the police what would happen if somebody was in the restroom bothering somebody?
That's a criminal act, yes, sir.
So they would be arrested if they...
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What?
If they can, if the people that's in the restroom can prove to the police that he went in there for a criminal act, yes. But it's still not right for me. It's not right for me to go into a women's restroom.
No, I wouldn't want to. They don't have a urinal. They just have toilets and those booths.
I've gone pissed in the toilet a lot of times. I don't have to have a urinal.
Well, what I'm saying is that ladies' rooms are made for ladies and men's rooms for men. Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to put a urinal in the women's restroom.
Well, you know, when you talk about the transgender, those people, a lot of those that you recognize, claim to be or say they are, have had that surgery to change their body.
Some of them just perceive in their minds that they're a woman.
And that's the ones that, well, did you know that there's actually millions of kids born in the United States every year who the doctor looks at them and can't decide, and they talk to their parents, do you want this child to be a boy or a girl? And they remove whichever set of organs.
Yes, I know.
You've heard of that.
I don't have a problem with that.
And you know what's bad about them doing that when they're babies? When they get older and it gets in their head that they're being, somehow they're different. Then's when they want to be the other way.
Yeah.
I've read about some of that in
I have too.
medical journals, and it's pretty sad.
Well, it's their choice. They have the choice of that. God gave us a choice when He created Adam and Eve in the garden.
Well,
He gave them a choice, and
but the human body, humans aren't all born the same, in how we think and what we feel we are and should be. I don't know. I'm kind of sympathetic to people that have what's a disability.
Yeah.
Well, that way.
I feel like I don't discriminate against them. If that's the way they feel in their minds and that's the way they want to be, that is up to them. My problem is